Greetings from Helsinki. It's been really lovely hearing all of your presentations. I feel like there's so many languages present here, but we all share the language of e-technology. So it's so amazing to have colleagues who understand all the challenges pretty similar. And you'll find out that we also have very similar ideas down to the detail of some of the symbols that you also added. So I'll be presenting some of that to you. And I'm here with Sari Koski-Kotiranta, who's head of our services. My name is Sanna-Katja, and I'm one of the educational technology specialists at the University of Helsinki. I'm in the Moodle team. I'm Moodle admin, and I work with the coders to develop some of the software we have in collaboration with our teachers. And 2 years ago, Sari had been to a little conference, and then she found out about this amazing idea, and she said to me, would you be interested in developing this project? It's called ABC, and I said, that sounds curious, I'm interested. So since then, in about a year and a half ago, I've started developing this workshop, first kind of just at the university, but then we got Clive and Tasha to come over and really teach us to train the trainers, and we've been developing ever since from there. So we localized this package, actually pretty recently with the graphic designer. We made some symbols to accompany some of the text, and we do have a Finnish translation of the materials. We also adapted the cards to our context. I'll show you an example in just a little bit. We added some of the edtech tools and also the symbols, and then we do encourage the staff and faculty to add their own examples to the cards. As well as we added some of case-specific pedagogical topics to the workshop. And one thing I have to say about this, the materials, they're really amazing and take a lot of printing. So we've experimented with laminating some of the cards and posters and have found that especially in the demo ones that we do, where we share about ABC, it's really nice to have those laminated ones, but we're open to any ideas with that and how to make that work instead of just the paper ones or the cardboard ones. This is just to give you an example. And we'll be adding the Erasmus logo, obviously, for the new version. And here, 2 cards. So we added the University of Helsinki tools, a little bit small writing, but it's down there in different cards. We renamed the ABC from contact teaching to online teaching in Finnish with using the acronym ABC kind of in when we talk with the professors, but then we want to emphasize the blended aspect of it. We launched these in spring 2018. I've personally taught pretty much all of the workshops, about 15 workshops from 2 to 50 participants in different disciplines. And then also in the University Pedagogy Study Program, which I taught as well, and I do teach one of the ABC that's focused on learning objectives as part of that course. And that's a big one, like they have 60 participants, and usually it's just me facilitating. So I get to experience the range of having colleagues, and I do prefer having a colleague in each of the small group tables versus me trying to manage 15 people and all their questions. And one thing about our course is the way we've adapted it is we also noticed that 3 hours was more like the time we need. I remember a few people mentioning that you can vary the time. What we want to do ideally is to have the teachers from one program and maybe even a course sequence. And often those ideally are organized by the director of that program. And then we'll be there as the edtech specialists, and we'll bring in also a researcher, a pedagogical researcher, and then we'll kind of use all of our expertise. So if the topic is peer review, we'll try to make sure we get first a mini lecture about peer review in research and also at our university, and then an edtech part, and then the workshop and working from there. So we've really been happy with how adaptable this workshop in all these different topics. And one thing that we're trying to emphasize more later is how to tie in the learning objectives more. But we do kind of assume that the teachers have already thought about that before they come into our workshop. So that's one of the next steps. Another one is the student participation, and we're very interested to hear your experiences in including students in the workshops. And then mapping other different topics. I happen to be leading also our e-portfolio project, and the teachers have thought that that would be something that ties in with all of the bachelor's and master's program, and how exactly we put that into the courses is something that maybe we could use ABC for, something that I'm exploring right now. And we have other different cases that one thing we're really interested during this project is to find out different types of cases that you have, and then we have different contexts. We've also been sharing the ABC, so after about a year of experimenting in different types of courses and program level and things like that, we're finally confident to share in Finland a little bit more. So this year I've presented ABC in 3 different forums. 2 of them were pedagogical forums, and one was Dare to Learn, which is basically an EdTech event, kind of similar to Slush, if you've heard about that for startups. So it's EdTech startups, Finnish government, higher ed institutions, and so on. And one thing to note is ABC demo in 1 hour it's kind of hard to do, but that's why you see me explaining there, and then after they would work in small groups, but that's why I'm there explaining, because sometimes I said, this is what we would do in the workshop, but today we're just gonna move on. And here is also, I put one question in the Q&A about the CC license, because at this startup event, obviously there were lots of companies there, and so we did get questions from a mindfulness company about if they could use it, also from other types of government-funded companies who are interested in using the ABC, and we don't exactly know where that boundary of the license is, so we'd love to hear from you more about that. I've been very conservative about it so far. I think that the CC license is great. And with this project, we aspire to create more of the contexts and include those in the package. We want to create a package where we can share this workshop, because now there's huge demand from other universities in Finland, and I can't possibly go to all of them, so it would be great if we could offer some kind of package, exactly what we're developing during this 2 years. So that's been great. I can always tell them, we are developing this package, and it'll be published in 2 years. Then also, we want to explore the ideas for the LMS or a separate software. I recently saw also in Dare to Learn something called Lesson App, where you can move around these parts of a lesson, and it looked really nifty to use, and I thought maybe something like that would be down in the pipeline later on. And we really hope to share insights and skills with all of you. I feel like with our experience so far with ABC, we know something about it, but it's such an amazing opportunity to be able to share it with you and learn from you, because then I feel like after this project, we'll all be experts on ABC in a very different level than what we could just be on our own or anybody else. Collaboratively developing the concept and what I consider as state-of-the-art pedagogical practices that have worked very well in our university so far. Thanks.